Good day, everyone. It's Kyle here with a Theta price action update. And I see that Theta was trying to smash into our liquid zone again here earlier today. And we got a wick coming into almost the top side of it here. And then price action got stuffed back down to the downside. But with the rest of the market, I just put out a Bitcoin video where similar behavior is happening. And we see that red 10 symbol coming in and harassing price action at the time of recording. But the bulls sure are trying to get the price action back up here. And the more times that this resistance gets tested, the weaker it actually becomes. So, it's always good to see a stab into there, clear out some of those sell orders, and then perhaps the next couple tests, the bears will become weaker in these areas here. And for those of you that are following along with my analysis, you know that very well that I'm watching that 0.382 as one of the first very key areas to be taken out, once this liquid zone is resolved here. And we do see that the yellow 21 is coming into confluence with that area as well. So if you do see price action whip up there and we get a wick off that area and a little bit of hesitation, well, just understand that that's where the 21 EMA is coming in, as well as the 0.382. And when you look left, you can see that, as we covered in the last video, that it was support here, here as well. And then back here, it was acting as a bit of resistance. So it's not uncommon to see those SR flips, the former support becoming future resistance. But, my opinion remains the same. I do think that the market is trying to put in a macro bottom here. We haven't seen the macro structure disrupted. Sure, we see some daily downtrends, the all-time high, lower high, lower low, lower high. And then, of course, we're working on that lower low right now. So yes, that is a daily downtrend, which is overall a little mini bear market, if you will. But I just view that as a correction, and I think that this could take some time to sort itself out. Could we V bottom out of here, right now? Well, sure, anything's possible. But based on the amount of selling that's been present lately and all this stigma and FUD that came flying into the market, it looks to me that the market, being as highly emotional as it is, will likely need a little bit of time to sort itself out. And honestly, if price action wants to grind along here for, even a couple months or up to mainnet or whatever, I think positive price action is going to be mostly dependent on the sentiment of the rest of the market. As good as mainnets are and good news, there's lots of rumors flying around out there, of course, and hype. But often when you see bearish price action, and I'm not saying I'm a bear, I'm just saying that the price action here is bearish on a daily downtrend. Typically, hype, rumors, and news articles have less effect when you see price action moving to the downside like this, so contradicting the good news. So I think overall, the market as a whole needs to sort itself out. If we look at the crypto fear and greed index here, you see it's still ticking in extreme fear, and that just goes to show you how emotional this market is. Of course, I've been around this market a long time, and it doesn't get under my skin as it may for some people that are brand new to this, getting their first taste of volatility. For me, par for the course. I've got the 1,000-yard stare, baby, of a crypto trader. Anyways, we are seeing Theta try to push through the resistance here, which is great. Get in there, clear these sell orders out, weaken that resistance, and soon we'll look for a daily candle body to blast through there. Whether that's today, tomorrow, I'm not overly concerned about it. We see that if we do see that long accumulation take place for the next couple months, I'm going to be viewing that as quite bullish, to be frank with you. Building a massive base of support, I don't complain about stuff like that, that's for sure. Dropping down to the momentum oscillators, we see the RSI getting out of that bearish control zone and looking like it wants to get back above that EMA there. So looking good. We're going to see a test here, but we want to see it confirm above. We want to see that RSI take out that EMA in the neutral zone. So that would be another couple good looks on the board for the bulls. Getting out of the bearish control zone, above that EMA in the neutral zone is beginning to level the playing field between the bulls and bears here. And it looks to me that price action is really wanting to move to the upside here. But of course, as you know, I go off those confirmations. Down below on the stochastics, they are starting to pick up a little bit of stank on them here now. Looking to get out of the bearish control zone and getting a little bit more aggressive here. So good luck. I like it. Down below on the MACD, we're seeing that the negative momentum is running out of steam here. And we're seeing the fast line angling back to the upside. This MACD read looks very, very similar to Bitcoin's right now, actually. Let's go into a 4-hour, see what we got going on those lower time frames. Okay, good. Okay, so we're seeing we're seeing a higher high for the first time in a while. So we see this high coming in and taking out this pivot point here. Of course, we have this low here, and you can actually look at this as a higher low if you're going to go off wicks, because this wick did stab down to that former liquid zone, and now we have a higher low. So we are seeing a 4-hour uptrend begin to take place again, looking very close to Bitcoin. I would encourage everybody here to check out my Bitcoin analysis. I'm going to be doing them more frequently because we all know that whether we own Bitcoin or not, or whether you like it, I personally own Bitcoin. I like it. I think it's going to go on to do great things. I think over the long term, we likely will see Bitcoin in 6 digits. Maybe it does hit that crazy $1 million target. I mean, does that mean that we won't see a bear market along the way? We might. We're going to, markets, they move in corrections. They do bear markets. Who knows? I'm not overly worried about this because I view the crypto space as a long-term thing. I mean, it's already disrupted the world. And with all these emerging technologies going on to fulfill their destiny, many of them are going to go on to do great things. And we could see some major price increases in a lot of these. And with also with the inflation and with the dollar, looking to be droopy right now and to lose some of its value, well, a lot of people are flocking into commodities, but also into the crypto sector. So I think over time, I mean, I still remain macro bullish. If we see some key areas get taken out on the weekly time schedules and we see a weekly downtrend instigated, then at that point in time, I'd say, okay, well, I'm looking at this through the lens of a macro bearish. But even macro bearish, what does that mean? Maybe a year, maybe a year and a half. It's really not a lot of time, really. But at the end of the day, of course, you still want to be as strategic as possible when buying dips and things like that, so that you don't get caught in these down moves. Of course, that's not pleasant for anybody. And up until recently, anybody investing in Theta was just experiencing profits for the first time in quite some time with these downside movements. Now we have some people that are trapped in positions from up above here, and so they're feeling a little bit of pain as price action takes these wild dips to the downside. So we do have to appreciate where everybody's coming from and see what's happening there. But we are starting to see a little bit of a 4-hour uptrend start to take place here. And we're seeing that on Bitcoin as well. So that's encouraging. And it's letting me know that likely we're going to see price action at least tap into that 0.382. Of course, if price action takes that out, the next area I'm watching is the 0.5, and that's coming in at $9.86. There's areas up above that, but we'll talk about those areas as these ones get taken out to the upside. Dropping down to the stochastics, they're across the downside. Not worried about that because we're starting to see a 4-hour uptrend take place, and stochastics are just going to be swerving around as they're more of a range bound indicator. But when trend in progress begins, I just look for them to swerve around in these areas. So not too worried about that. And the MACD, we're seeing the moving averages cross through that zero read of the y-axis, and we're seeing a little bit of a loss of momentum on the histogram here. But again, we're just looking at really short-term shit here. Back into the price action, I can also see other positive things going on here. So, I talk about all the time, the former support becoming future resistance, and that is the case on moving averages. And you can see that, price action really aggressively takes out the 10, 21, and 30 here. You see when we get that bounce comes up, you find a rejection on the 21 here, bouncing up again. You're finding all kinds of wicks on the 21 and the 30 here as well. But now what you're seeing is you're seeing price action start to take out the red 21. I get confused sometimes. The red 10 simple is getting through that 21, getting through that 30, and you're seeing a series of candle body closures up above there. And what's happening? You're starting to see them show up as support now. Look at those wicks coming down and testing that 10 as well as the 21, and now looking to find them as support as the bots and algorithms start to switch to the buy side of those moving averages. So it's kind of cool when you get to know what you're looking at here, and you study it, you get the feel for the ebb and flow of the market. You can kind of see these things start to take place, and you can see the constructive behavior as price action begins to undo some of this damage, is what we're looking at here. But you can also see it when a lot of damage enters, then you look for those key areas. And if you're going to be a trader, whether you're a scalper, a swing trader, that becomes very powerful information, of course. So that's encouraging. So in other words, what I like what I'm seeing there. Now, if we got to always keep this balance, let's look for some conditions to the downside. So you know what? I'll come back into the price action here. If I start seeing price action start to take out, let's just go on this pivot point right here. Oops, wrong line, sir. Let's go back over here and let's grab ourselves a horizontal. In the short term, if this pivot gets taken out at $6, likely it's going to initiate a test back down around that $5 mark, and that this 4-hour uptrend would be disrupted. So that's going to be a condition to the downside, way down at $6. currently trading at $7.15, so we are a ways off for that. But if we see 4 hours start to close down there, then that is likely going to be initiating some further downside price action. Anyhow, hope you guys found that helpful. It's lots of fun bringing you these price action updates on Theta, letting you know what I see within the charts between those buyers and sellers as they try to sort out what's going on here after all this aggressive selling to the downside. And so far, we're seeing the bulls looking like they want to put up a fight and looking like they want to regain some control here on the short-term time frames. And of course, that could end up spilling into those higher time frames. So I'm going to keep a very watchful eye on this. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming by and checking out this video. Hope you're all doing well out there. Until I see you again, have yourselves a powerful day.